Watch this video for July 29th, which will be Friday. You can see the SPY is just in a very clearly defined range. Not a lot of action today. There wasn't, I mean, it's been an unbelievable July, unbelievable. And then today, for me, was just boring. Now, we did have one call by Jane in chat, and that I missed would have been huge. And I'll show you that real quick. We had SPU on watch, and Jane called it as it kind of broke out of this little 5-minute buy setup right here, probably close to 10 in the 1040s on this next candle, right about where my arrow is. And I saw it happening by the time I reached over to put it in order, and I was already kind of messing around with a different symbol. It just took off without me, and I wasn't going to chase, but look at that. Made a really nice move, and then put in a clearly defined range for the afternoon, kind of flagging. So it is on watch for tomorrow. Again, it's already had a nice bounce, so I don't like really watching it again the next day. But again, you kind of have a clearly defined flag here. So up over this flag, this one might continue. I liked it much more today, though, where Jane called it, than I like it for watching it tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to watch SPU. CERS, I'll have to pan out here a little bit so you can see. It's up to, very close to like breakout territory. And it was pretty strong. I'll switch to 5-minute candles. It was pretty strong on an intraday basis here near the end of the day. You had a big volume pop flag, and a volume pop. So that one closed strong. It goes on watch tomorrow, but it's also been moving up for a couple days. It's generally not a big mover, so I'm not in love with it. EXAS did a secondary, so I took it off of, at least I think that was the news. I took it off my radar and ended up closing really strong. Let's get that off there. So I am going to, with that kind of strength, I'm definitely going to put this back on watch. You had the gap up day, it went up to 1747. Today it went up to 1750. Certainly over 1750. This one, as strong as it is, might just rip higher. So we're going to keep that one on watch. EXAS. DELT made let me see if this is yeah, it looks like its biggest volume day ever today, okay? And it almost doesn't look that extended when you when you pan out and you see that it was $40, but you can't go by that. When you zoom in, you can kind of tell, do it about like that, how extended this thing is. It had a huge move today, but sometimes you can get a gap down or just a narrow range for the opening 15-20 minutes or so, and then an upside break, and then a follow-up squeeze. So it goes on watch tomorrow, but it's going to be on watch for the next several days. All right, XCOM. I didn't type that right. XCOM had a really nice move yesterday, and then today just a quiet inside day. I like this move that it made, and it's really been strong on really strong volume. So even though I think it needs to come in another day, it's going to go ahead and go on watch for tomorrow. GBR, another one that we had on watch. Some of the folks in chat today were trading this thing down here, and they caught a really nice move. They had an initial move, pullback, another move, and it closed really strong. I never did trade this one, and now it feels extended again, but such a huge move back here. Sellers were probably pretty darn confident that it was going to round trip, and next thing you know, boom. So it's right back up. So this one might have a follow-through day on that bounce. Again, I like to be, for lack of a better term, I like to be early rather than late. So I'm always aware of that, and I'm not going to chase. It'll have to give me a great setup tomorrow to take a trade. KOOL, another red day, very low volume. It's a pretty good bounce play setup. Remember, this thing ran from 3 to almost 7, and now you're 2 days lower on really tiny volume down to 4. So this one, might flush below 4 tomorrow and then reverse it. I'm definitely going to watch it, but it is a tricky trader, so be careful with that one. GNC, sometimes, guys, a stock gets, weak on an intraday basis, and sellers just stay in charge all day, and then the next day you get a bounce. So this is really one pretty darn ugly chart, okay? So just so you know. But it will be on watch tomorrow for a potential snapback bounce, because that might just be construed as overdone once the market opens tomorrow. We'll see. I don't love that kind of setup, but again, I'm a day trader, so I'm just looking for something that can make me money tomorrow. That's got potential. ZAIS. Big pop, and a big pop. And now, 4 or 5 days lower. Very tiny volume today inside of yesterday's green candle. So this one is still, in my opinion, set up for another potential big pop higher. So it goes on watch. And then GoPro, GPRO. Nice volume today. And, up near this recent high from earlier in July. This one might have a follow-through day. So, again, I don't like to chase, but sometimes we can get a tight consolidation for an hour and then a break, or a gap down and a red to green. or just a narrow range, and then a break of today's high of 1328. If we break through that, you look to the left, it might take out this 1340 and then maybe start to head up to the 200 days. So those are some numbers that are interesting. And then lastly, I have MATR. Now this thing, you can tell it's thin because this big volume spike here was only 1 million shares, but it's a super interesting daily chart. At this pop, sellers came in and right back up again. So over today's high would be 405, and then a few days ago it hit 408. So 406 could easily take it through 408 and maybe break this thing out. So I want to watch that one too. And then maybe a possible sleeper in OPTT. It's just kind of getting quiet now, but it made such a huge move, and it's kind of in a fairly tight range for the way it's been moving, right, for the last couple of days. So I'm also going to keep that one on watch. And then we'll add gappers in the morning, and hopefully we can catch a nice gapper in the morning as well. All right, have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.